Riley is great grandson. Good afternoon, everyone, and thank you for being here. My name is Don Keelan. I'll be your MC for a few minutes, and we have a short program, and then once we get through the program, I can smell the food already, so but we'll get through it. Would you please stand for the National Anthem, which will be sung by Lottie Fisher, Emma Hoover of the Arlington Memorial High School. And would you please remain standing while Reverend Clark of the East Arlington Federated Church delivers our invocation.
So proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rockets red fire, the bolts bursting
Great God and Spirit of us all, we gather today here in the heart of our community, this place dedicated to joyful exuberance, game playing, body strengthening, soul rejuvenating, where neighbors look out for each other. To lift up, we come here to lift up our deep and abiding thanksgiving after nearly 18 months of a global pandemic that has touched every corner of our planet. We here in Arlington, Sandgate, and Sunderland have also felt its touch personally. Lives and livelihoods were upended. Schools, organizations, and businesses large and small pivoted to respond with care and concern while continuing with their missions. As a community with a heart as great as the mountains surrounding us, we continue to care for one another. In that care, we are also mindful that dozens of our neighbors have tested positive for the coronavirus over this time, and many were sickened. We also lift up those whose earthly lives were tragically ended by this pandemic. Please join me in observing a moment of silent reflection for those dear ones we've lost. This day finds us coming together in a way that can only be truly appreciated in small towns like ours. To celebrate with friends and neighbors over generously shared food, wonderful music, fun and games, and ending with the lighting up of the night sky, all while sharing stories and memories and laughter. That is all the true mark of what it means to be a community bonded together in a way that has only strengthened us and made us more resilient over this past year and a half. In the words of Esau Macaulay, the pandemic has reminded us that life is more than what we do. It is about whom we spend our lives with. We are made for friendship, love, and community. And so let us raise our praise and continuing thanksgiving for the opportunity to live and grow and love in this place we get to call home. We ask this blessing in all the names we know you by, Most Holy One. Amen.
Amen.
I want to thank the singers, and I also like to thank Reverend Clark. You may have a question about the folks sitting to my left. I will mention why they're sitting there in just a minute. But in the meantime, I would like to recognize 4 of our state legislators who are sitting behind me, and they are the Honorable Dick Sears and Brian Campy, our Bennington County state senators. Also, we have the Honorable Kathleen James, and not with us today, but wishing he had been with us and that he could be with us, is Seth Bungartz. He had a conflicting commitment and couldn't make it. But joining us also is the Honorable Mary Morrissey, a state representative and known to so many of us. Also joining us is Donna and Keith Squires, along with their great-grandson, Riley, if I got that right. I have a letter here. Thank you for inviting me to the celebration at the Arlington Recreation Park. This has been a difficult time for everyone, and we all deserve to celebrate and thank those who helped bring our communities together during this pandemic. I want to thank Keith and Donna Squires for their dedicated municipal service. It is also local leaders like them and you that make our towns and cities strong. Best wishes for a great evening, and thank you for all your work in bringing these communities together in celebration. Sincerely, Patrick Leahy, Senator of the United States Senate. By the way, today's also a conflict, so we couldn't get other officials with us, because in New London, Connecticut, they're commissioning the USS Vermont. A number of years ago, back in 1941, when the London Blitz was over, Winston Churchill made a speech to the people of the United Kingdom. In that speech, he mentioned, "We are at the end of the beginning." And I must say, we here today, what we have gone through, are basically at the end of the beginning. And to get us through that beginning, we have these folks on our left here who represent about 35 to 40 organizations in town, nonprofits, government agencies, businesses, and individuals who kept open, serviced us, took care of us, and watched us during this awful time. They're here today representing their organization, and we are going to present them to have something in perpetuity, recognizing this day. Each one will receive the following walnut plaque with the brass statement on it. The statement reads, and by the way, this is being given in all of our names to these organizations who stayed open during the pandemic and took care of us. For the services you provided to the citizens of Arlington, Sunderland, and Sandgate, Vermont, during the COVID-19 pandemic of 2020-21, our thanks, our gratitude, and our deep appreciation. August 28, 2021. I will now ask Lori Glover if she could come up here. Lori, together with Marcia Haley, are the co-chairs of this event. And they put on quite an effort, as you can see. And I will ask Mary Morrissey and Representative James if they could come up here, and they're going to hand out the plaques. And please hold your applause until we get through all of the plaque recipients. And when I ask the folks who are going to come up and get a plaque, if you would come up here when your organization's name is called, and get the plaque, and then we'll take it from there.
Hey, does anybody have any umbrellas we can let these ladies have? Thank you. you ask him to hold his glass? Okay. Okay, we're going to try to do this in alphabetical order. Excuse me. Arlington Area Daycare. Someone here from them? The Arlington Animal Hospital. That's my dog's favorite place. Maybe I should have brought her to accept. Arlington Community Church. I know there's someone here. Reverend Tim Snyder, correct? Please hold your applause. The Arlington Food Shelf. The Arlington Fire Department, who are currently over there cooking. Oh, good, Randy, we took a break. The Arlington Lions Club. Arlington Rescue. I think Carrie is here. There she is. The Bank of Bennington. The Arlington Post Office. The Battenkill Valley Grange. Battenkill Valley Health Center. Berkshire Bank. Chauncey's. Okay. Chem-Clean. Dollar General. Rick Coulter coming and meeting. Is Rick here? No. Federated Church. I think we have someone here from that. Here. Variety Store. The Martha Canfield Library. And the list is here. Mac Molding. Miles Lumber. Hi, Florence. Randy Novotny Electric. The Double Dipper today. Old Mill Media. It's actually Old Mill Road Media, sorry. Quadratech. The Arlington School District. EBS here. Second Chance Animal Shelter. St. James Episcopal Church. Town of Arlington. The Town of Sandgate. The Town of Sunderland. Southwest Vermont Medical Center. Stewart's. The Village Peddler. The Vermont State Police. Who's going to come? Wayside. Wilcox Ice Cream. Kate and Jim Fitzgerald. Do you want to do these? Kate and Jim Fitzgerald? Okay. Kate and Jim Fitzgerald with the... No?
We got someone to present that.
Okay, what about these?
Are we going to make
Bond guides? Okay. Okay, so that is it for this round. Okay, so they should sit down. Okay, now that's it.
Well, it's quite obvious about what you just witnessed. No one individual, no one organization, no one company was able to get us through the pandemic. But it took a whole number of organizations working together, and that's how we got through. By working together, and we'll get through it, what's in front of us, no doubt, after having witnessed this wonderful group. Let's give them another round of applause. At this time, we'd like to, at this event, make a presentation to Donna and Keith Squires, the former Arlington School Board Chair and Select Board Chair, in the presentation of a joint resolution that was adopted by the Vermont House and Senate, and I believe read on the floor of the legislature on May 22nd. The presentation will be made by our Senator Brian Campion, who will read the resolution.
Thank you. It's an absolute honor to do this on behalf of the Squires. I'm Brian Campion, State Senator for Bennington County with Dick Sears, as well as the Chair of Senate Education. House Concurrent Resolution honoring former Arlington Select Board Chair Keith Squires and former Arlington School Board Chair Donna Squires for their dedicated municipal civic services, offered by Representatives James of Manchester and Bongarts of Manchester, Senators Campion and Sears. Whereas Keith Squires was a 39-year member of the Arlington Select Board, and his wife Donna Squires served for many years on the Arlington School Board in both were panel chairs, and whereas Keith Squires' input was crucial in Arlington's successful highway modernization efforts and upgrading of the Arlington Recreation Park and acquisition of the Town of Arlington Water Department and the recovery from Tropical Storm Irene. And whereas Donna Squires' oversight of the Arlington public school system benefited students, teachers, and parents, now therefore be it resolved by the Senate and House of Representatives that the General Assembly honors former Arlington Select Board Chair Keith Squires and former Arlington School Board Chair Donna Squires for their dedicated municipal service, and be it further resolved that the Secretary of State be directed to send a copy of this resolution to Keith and Donna Squires. If you would please join me in thanking these incredible public servants for their years of dedication.
We could get the great grandson up here too. Come on. Gotta be in the picture. The future generation. There we go. There we go.
Thank you.
Keith wants to present next year's budget.
Yeah, a little early, but everybody knows I don't make speeches, so I won't make one here today. I just want to thank everybody else that has been involved with the town of Arlington, all the towns around. We all worked good together. We had a good time doing it. We got a lot of work done. But especially all the people in the town of Arlington, town hall down there, over the years and the generations that have been in there. A lot of work, a lot of time, and they all made it work. I wasn't the only one involved. Thank you.
"39 years is a long time, and thank you so much. We also want to make sure that we know the presentation that they took will be in their home, but we also have a similar a copy of what had been read by Brian to give to the town of Arlington. And we're going to ask Kathleen James to present it to Dan Harvey, the chair of our select board. Thanks, Kathleen.
Dan, this one's for you.
The past 18 months, just south of this park and across from Phil Burns' jewelry store, my office, has been basically the headquarters of the Vermont Department of Corrections, because Colonel Jim Baker, now the interim commissioner of the Department of Corrections, has been set up there. So the past 18 months, Jim has been running the Department of Corrections, keeping the inmates safe, the staff safe, and everyone else. And it's been a monumental job, and I know, because I'm there 5 days a week, and I'm watching what he's doing. So, what I like now, you can come in? Oh my goodness, I'm going to have him sit over there for just a second, and I'm going to have Senator Sears, who's the chair of the Vermont Judiciary Committee, which oversees the Department of Corrections, make a presentation to Commissioner Baker. And many of you know Commissioner Baker as Trooper Baker from 35 years ago, but now he's our commissioner. Senator Sears.
This is indeed a pleasure, and I'm glad, Jim, that you made it here. A year ago, actually it was January of 2020, I had a meeting with Jim Baker, and he told me that he was going to become the interim corrections commissioner, but he was leaving on April 30th, 2020. And that was a definite date. There was no movement at all. And then COVID hit. And this guy has just been terrific in taking over a department that had a lot of problems, believe me. But also to deal with a crisis like COVID, when you have about, well, they had at the time 2,000 offenders incarcerated. I think they're down a little bit from that, but taking over that department and doing this work, I guess another year past April 1st, April 30th. But Jim has been an interim commissioner. I don't think he deserves the title interim, quite frankly. Many commissioners of corrections around the country don't last as long as Jim has. But Jim, thank you so much for all you've done for the people of Vermont. I could list on and on and on. And Don, thank you for having him in your office. I can't tell you how many Zoom meetings have been held with Jim Baker here in Arlington at Don Keeneland's office. And one day Don did come on, and I don't think you'll mind me saying, wondering when he could get rid of Jim Baker and get him out of his office so he could bring his office back. But thank you, Jim, so much. Really appreciate it.
Thanks, Senator. I appreciate that. I'm just going to say thank you for recognizing this, and it has been a long 18, 20 months. We're facing some other challenges right now with the virus in the system, and I'm waiting for some tests to come back now on pins and needles, but I appreciate the support of the legislative body that's here today, but also Don. He's allowed me to have my office there, and I wouldn't be able to have done the job because I would have had to leave because of some health issues, but Don's allowed me to do that, and I appreciate that, Don. Thank you very much. And the last thing is, I have about 900 employees in corrections. I get a lot of credit for what goes on in corrections, but it's the men and women that work there every day that make a difference in people's lives. So, thank you.
Thank you, Jim. Thank you, Senator Sears. Yes, I would like to get out of the office. I have another tenant who wants to pay more money for it. There's no charge to the state. But we have, as many of you probably recall, we had a a project in town referred to as the Arlington Area Renewal Project. That went on for 3 years. Jim Baker was the executive director of it before he was snatched and kidnapped by the governor to become the commissioner. But during that 3-year period, the Arlington Renewal Project moved ahead and was substantially funded by the Mack Company. It would not have existed without the Mack Company. But also, and was not very well known, and we want to honor the couple today, substantial funding for the project came from someone that many of you probably know, Dr. Jim Fitzgerald, who used to be with Advanced Eye Care, and his wife Kate, Kate Fitzgerald, who used to head up the operating room at the hospital. They now live in Arizona. They can't make it here today, but we wanted to honor them for providing us with the financial assistance to carry out the renewal project, and also to carry out many things we did during the pandemic. Some of the renewal project efforts are still going on, such as the farmers market. You're going to see major changes here at the Catholic Church with the B.B. Bullock, Harold Farley, Don Trackey and that group. Major changes. You also see changes possibly over at Red Mountain, and of course we have our Nick Zack as our town administrator, all resulting. So I'm going to ask Colonel Baker if he would make the presentation on behalf of the organization to Jim and Kate Fitzgerald. And receiving the plaque today on their behalf will be Dr. Michael Walther.
Yeah, I just want to add, Don, when I was involved with the Renewal Project, Dr. Fitz, as I call him, his contribution, he doesn't want to talk about what he contributed, but I can tell you, anytime we needed something, not even a resident of Arlington, but he believed in what we were doing, and he was very generous to our efforts. And a big part of that is now starting to show up in the work at the church. And he was a big supporter early on of the farmers market. So with that, I'd like to present this plaque to Dr. Welter to accept on behalf of Dr. Fitz and Kate. Thank you.
Many of you are aware of Dr. Fitzgerald as an eye doctor in Bennington, and he really does not have any connection to Arlington other than he's just a good friend and a good neighbor. And he's given generously to this community, and I accept this on his behalf. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Dr. Walter. I'd be remiss if I didn't recognize the fact that they stayed in session, they took care of us, and they moved the government along, and the government did not close. So on behalf of all of us here today, I want to present the plaques to Senator Richard Sears, Senator Brian Campion, and we'll get one to Seth Bungards, but in the meantime, we have one here for Mary Morrissey. And where is Mary?
Thank you so much.
One other presentation to make, and then we're almost done. I can smell burgers. This young man did not volunteer that much locally as he was in school. He's a graduate of the class of 2020 from Arlington Memorial High School. He did not graduate. He did not volunteer county-wise or statewide. But last year, he volunteered to go into the United States Armed Forces. In March, he left us, went to Texas for his training, and only last week did he come back as a member of the United States Air Force. I'd like to introduce to all of you one of our local young men who's now serving in the United States Armed Forces for the next 6 years. Would you all welcome Airman First Class Colby Wilkins. And Colby, we don't have a plaque for you, but we have something special, which ironically just came in today. It's the official commemorative challenge coin from the United States Air Force. And allow me to read the creed that this young man swore to recently. I am an American airman. I am a warrior. I have answered my nation's call. I will never falter, and I will never fail. God bless this young man. In closing, I'd like to thank Lori Glover, who you met, Marsha Haley, who's actually in France, and she was so much of a help to us in getting this event pulled together. I'd like to thank the fire department, the rescue squad, of course, the Arlington Lions, that's our school, Dave Vanwater, and the town of Arlington and Rec Park staff, and the Julie Shea Band. A special thanks will go to the Mac Company, the Keelan Family Foundation, and Wilcox Ice Cream for sponsoring the event. Now we'll have food at 3 locations, over here by the ball field, by the stands here, and over by the Lions Pavilion, in order to spread out. And at the same time, we also have sanitizers at each station, so you can take care, and let's be safe. And at 6:30, the alumni versus the varsity girls and boys soccer game will take place. And precisely at dusk, we're going to have a spectacular fireworks show. I want to thank you all for being here, but at the same time, there's a special birthday celebration that took place here today, or taking place, and I'd like to, Ken wants to mention it.
Can Judy Monty stand up, please? I would love it if everybody in the town could sing my mother happy birthday, because today is her birthday.
Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, dear Judy. Happy birthday to you.
So before we close, I would like to second the request that Colonel Baker get out of Don Keelan's office, because this is what they come up with when they talk. They come up with the idea, they're the idea people, and then they ambush you and kind of suck you into doing all the work for them. So, but there is one last thing we'd like to do. Todd has something.
Stay where you are. Today wouldn't be possible without the Keelan Foundation and the Keelan family. So on behalf of the Arlington community, I'd like to present the Keelan Foundation with this plaque showing our deepest appreciation for your dedication and support to our community. Thank you very much for this day.
Thank you so much. No speeches. Let's go have dinner.
Oh, sure.